Hey guys, another staple question asked in most of the interviews is what are your weaknesses or what is your greatest weakness? It is very important to answer this question consciously and carefully. So, what is a good way to talk about your weakness without letting your interviewer doubt your ability to do work? So, in this video, we will talk about first of all, what are your weaknesses? Then we'll talk about why interviewer asked this question, and then we'll jump onto some mistakes that you must avoid while answering this question. Then we'll jump to how to answer what are your weaknesses. It is not necessary that you get questions in same format. So let's see similar questions which you might get in your interview. What are your weaknesses? What is your greatest weakness? If you could change one thing about yourself, what that will be? What can stop you from giving 100% output? What is your development goal for this year? That was some similar questions that you might face. We'll try and answer all of them concisely here. Whenever a question about your weakness is asked, a candidate is definitely not going to reveal something which is going to make him slip out this job in hand. So, why is this question asked? And if the interviewer knows that a candidate is not going to give an honest answer, what is the interviewer looking for in your answer? So, if your interviewer knows that the probability of a candidate answering this question in an honest way is very less, so why is she asking this question? And that is because your interviewer wants to see through that small and presentable face and want to understand what it will be really about to work with you. Even if a candidate is not going to answer honestly, an interviewer can still get a peek through your answer. So, if your answer feels dishonest, an interviewer can assume a lot of things about you. Obviously, it's difficult to talk about weakness in such stressful situation. To be put in better words, areas of development. But the truth is, you have to speak. Since the question is about weakness and you are in a stressful situation, so let's see some of the things or mistakes which you must avoid while answering the question about weakness. One of the greatest mistakes that the candidate make is being ignorant about the question. So finally, they end up answering things like, I don't think so, I have any weaknesses as such, or I can't think of any weakness right now. If a candidate answers that way, the interviewer will definitely doubt about the self awareness of the candidate. And let's be practical, no one's perfect, and your interviewer is not going to buy that. Don't have any weakness. Another mistake is to confess to something that will hinder in performing best in your role. For example, I get really aggressive if the things are not working out properly, or somehow I always end up getting late for the office. So make sure you're not answering one of those. Keeping in the must avoid point, let's move on to see how we must answer what are your weaknesses. A good approach to answer this question is to look out for the key skills that is required in the job and then digging in yourself to find a shortcoming which is non-essential for the job role that you are applying for. And on that, if you can mention that you have been working to improve on your shortcomings, it's a cherry on the top. This will also show that you have a growth mindset and future. If you come across any challenges or shortcomings, you will try and overcome that Another approach is to choose the weak points that are fixable. For example, I get really anxious when the deadlines are close, but I have been working on it. I have tried some methods like breathe in, breathe out, which has proved to be useful in previous projects. Tell about your weakness in a very brief and neutral way. You need not go in detail at all, as well as you need not show any emotions while talking about your weakness. A key tip is when you're mentioning your weakness, demonstrate that you're working on your weakness and is trying to learn and grow on it. And now here goes my sample answer. I get a little bit nervous when speaking in large group of people. I have been trying to overcome this, and recently I have taken up a Java workshop which was attended by 20 people. I've also taken up a public speaking course online, which I think has really helped a lot. So that was a good way to answer the question, what are your weaknesses? Do not go unprepared with this question and be confident in whatever you answer. Watch our next video, Are You a Team Player in the series, to get a hook in your interview.